Thanks for joining us right here again on Herbal Gardens Homestead. Well, we want to get you guys involved in this one. We're going to be heading across Florida, picking up a tractor and stuff like that, so that we can head back up toward the homestead, and we're going to show all that to you right after this. Well, we just left Indiantown, and we are heading towards Sebring, Florida. Well, it looks like we're heading towards Sebring, Florida from Palm Beach. We're going to pick up a truck, and then we're going to pick up a tractor. We're going to empty out a storage unit and possibly get hopefully some more farming equipment out of there. I'm not sure what's left in there, but you know, inside that storage unit, we're going to go ahead and check it out. We've been traveling for a while. I mean, we drove down. We have to take a trailer and we attach it to the back, and we're gonna get the tractor because we need an extra one out on the homestead. Because out on the homestead, I don't know if you guys remember in another video, the tractor tire got popped. So we're gonna go pick up another one out of our storage unit just to make sure we have enough equipment to do what we need to do out there. I know it's cold right now up there, but we need to make sure that we have enough equipment that, you know, works, because we are going to be planting the garden soon. We're going to plant some, you know, stuff for the winter. Kale, possibly some spinach, herbs. We have herbs that we need to plant that are good to grow in the winter. You can plant different types of things like basil, peppermint, spearmint, cauliflower, broccoli. If your soil doesn't get too hard during the cold time, you could probably get some Brussels sprouts in there, which is, you know, good to do if you can. Now I got potatoes in the ground in one of the raised beds, and I don't know exactly how it's going to do, but hopefully they'll grow, you know. I have some Caribbean oregano in the raised bed also. I have a bunch of raised beds, and I'm going to build some more because I have a feeling that we're going to be there for a while. During this time, we're going to be looking for more land because we need to have enough land to expand, and right now we don't. We only have a few acres right now, and we need more than that. We want to try to get like, I don't know, 10 to 20 acres sounds good. A lot of things that I have inside the greenhouse, they are inside of planters. I do a lot of planter gardening because I like to be able to move things around, and if something's getting too much sun, I like to be able to move it out of the sun, and if it's not getting enough sun, I like to move it into the sun. And it also depends on the time of year where you might have to move something from the sun out of the sun into the shade. Certain herbs grow better when in the shade during hot times of the year, but when it gets colder, they like to have more sun. So I like to move things around. By getting this tractor down here out of the storage, it will help. Well, looks like we're back in Okeechobee. It's a nice little town. Yep. Okeechobee. There's not too much stuff to do around here. A lot of country. A lot of farming, and a whole lot of cattle. You can get some good deals out here on cattle. We're gonna go on US 98 now. Yeah, they got some line dancing and stuff over there. Speckled perch. They got an auction house up here. I'm not sure what the name of it is. Let's see if they still got it. Should be right up here around the bend across from John Deere Tractor Company. See, there's John Deere over there on the right. Oh, okay. There's Walpole Feed right there, and then over there is the auction house. Woo. Yeah, right there is the auction house. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they have a lot of dairy factories around here. Yeah, there's an airport over there on the right hand side. They have a scrap yard also. I know that doesn't concern many people, but you know, one day if you need to get rid of some scrap for a couple extra dollars for seed to plant on your homestead, you can always just get some scrap around your property that you're not using, or refrigerator, old dishwasher, old washer and dryer. Turn it in for some money for some seeds to plant. There's the scrapyard over there on the right. Back out to the country now. We're leaving town. I didn't even know there was a banana tree farm planted over there on the right. Did you see that? Some land coming up for sale. A lot of people are starting to let go of some land now. We always used to stop at that little gas station right there, the Sunoco, get some gas or something to drink, because this is around halfway, the halfway mark between the other side of Florida. Now we're going back out into the country again. Look at that. Some country out here, I tell you what. There's a lot of cattle out here. There was a ranch up here not too far. They were trying to sell off about 1,200 acres. Can't remember the price that they were trying to get. That guy over there on the right, he sold off all his calves. There's a dairy factory over there. They used to have a whole lot of dairy cows out here. They're probably on the other side grazing somewhere. That's the dairy factory. It's really big. It's a really big dairy factory. There's also a place up here where they have a lot of horses. At least they used to. I haven't been here for, I don't know, probably half a year. Time flies, I tell you that. Sure does. Yeah, this is the place over here. The guy over here was selling this place. All that land out there. It's a whole lot of land. Well, you can't even see a tree line, it's so far out there. Some places it goes way, 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 way out. It's like 1,200 acres he was selling that for. There's a lot of ranches out here that, shut down even because of the cost of taking care of cattle was too much for them to bear. Cattle ranch over here, and some people just couldn't afford to feed anymore or to take care of them. I don't know if it's vet bills or what, but there's a lot of ranches that shut down. I think all over, not just here, but all over. Take a look at that out there. Now that is country. There's a lot of cows over there. flooding around the area way up there in front of us. And a lot of the calves drowned in the water and then died. Pretty bad. Yeah, I can tell you a lot of times when we passed out here, we hit boar, wild boar on the road. We've seen them get hit on this road. Came by them. At nighttime, you accidentally run over something here and there, but glad we never smashed into a wild boar. It'll be nice to be able to get that lawn tractor, be able to pull things around in case something happens to the other tires or something like it did before when one of them lost air. I have a feeling we're going to be tired today after loading up all this stuff. I know my back's going to be hurting me bad after because I got a trailer in the back that I got to lift it up onto. Can't even drive up onto it because I don't have a ramp. So that's kind of messed up. But I'm trying to, make sure that we have what we need. I grabbed a bunch of barrels and stuff like that to catch rainwater, and some of them cut up, cut them in half, and you can make raised herb beds also for the herbs. I mean, you can plant other things into them too, but I use them for herbs. And we're way out in the outskirts of Okeechobee. A lot of swampland out here. There's a lot of gators in the river. It'll probably be another 15-20 minutes till we are able to cross over Kissimmee River. The Sebring ain't too far from here. That little place that we just drove by on the left there, they sell orchids. They grow orchids. Yeah, not too far up ahead now. We're gonna be crossing over the Kissimmee River. I've seen a few gators swimming around in there when we crossed before. This is a flood area. I know that. See, you can see the water right there. You see it? Look at all that. Jeez, Pete's. There's a lot of gators swimming around in there. Oh, there's one right there. A lot of this water that you're seeing on the sides right now, that's all from the hurricane. That used to be dry. This place is literally still trying to empty out from the hurricane. A lot of flood waters. Well, we're getting ready to cross over the bridge. Right up here, we're coming across it. And oh, there's some guys that took their boats out to the river. Oh, look at that, that's the Kissimmee River. That are actually free, and there's a trail right over on your right hand side that goes from the bottom of Florida all the way up to the top. I think it takes like a month or more. It takes more than a month actually if you can't walk over at least 10 miles a day. If you can walk over 10 miles a day, you could probably do it in a month. Less than 10 miles a day, you're gonna do it in probably a month and a half. There's a lot of beautiful country out here. Man. bad thing about being out here, though, is dealing with all the sand. When you try planting a bunch of herbs and things like that, it's like the sand is terrible. Even for certain plants. Certain plants are going to die. Oh, that guy, that's a chicken guy over there. He has tons of ducks and roosters and chickens and everything over there. Yeah, so the sand is like unbelievable. One day I was working on the yard and I literally grabbed the grass and pulled it up, the roots and all, right out of the sand. The grass was just sitting there growing over top of it. I couldn't believe it. Sand is bad. Oh, look at the wild boar. Got hit by a car or something. That sucker looked like it was about 300 pounds. It was huge. Basically, after we cross these train tracks right here, we'll be in a little town called Loretta. Sign, Loretta. Loretta. This is a tiny town. Two churches right next to each other right there. Another church over there. And then place. That used to be a little shrimp shack. Well, looks like we made it to the outskirts of Sebring, Florida. Looks like we're now in a town called Spring Lake. We've stopped over there for some chicken and Subways before. Yeah. Almost bought a piece of land along the side of this road. I could have got it for $25,000, and I went and let it go, and then the next time I looked at it to see if it was available, it was worth $60,000 in just 1 year later. 1 year later, it was $60,000, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I could have made some money. Yeah, sometimes you gotta grab a deal when you see it, because deals do not last long and investments go quick. Little town out in the middle of nowhere, just a bunch of houses in the middle of nowhere. My friends, it looks like we just made it to Sebring. Alright. We are in the town of Sebring. And we are going to have to go look to see if we can get into stores to get that yard tractor. I know my feet are going to be wobbling after I get up out of here. I wonder if I have any other tools. I wonder if I have rakes and all that kind of stuff in that storage bin. I hope so. Not sure. Looks like there's a flea market over here. We might have to stop and take a look around. See if there's any gardening stuff. I mean, that's if they still do it on Sundays. Yeah, looks like they still do it. Well, I guess you're wondering why that hood of the vehicle I'm driving is orange and white. We were working all day, and I could not believe the amount of stuff that we had sitting there in storage. But we got the tractor and we picked up everything else, and we are in a U-Haul, and that's why you see that hood. And now we're heading back to the other side of Florida to hit 95 and head north. Surprise! There I am. Yep, we're in the big truck right now, heading down the road. I'm really happy about some of the things that I was able to pick up. We actually had to stay the night last night because I busted my hand. I was moving some things. Some stuff fell on my hand. Woo-hoo. Looked like things were easy to take down, and it wasn't. They were like lodged in with each other, and I messed up my hand. But at least we got the job done, and we also shut down the storage. Money saver. Anytime you shut down the storage, remember you save money. So the object is not to have so much stuff that you have to get a storage. We had to get a storage because we moved. We actually stayed down here on the other side of Okeechobee, and we're getting ready to head back towards Okeechobee now. I think we're in a place called Spring Lakes right now. There's a lot of ranches out here and stuff. Animals, cows. There's milking processing plants, meat processing plants, all different types of stuff for you to see out here. Place is building up. Seems like the farmers are dying. Just selling the land off because they don't want to. They either get too old and the kids grow up and don't want to do anything. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me crossing the state of Florida, and I hope you got to see some country and some land that you haven't seen before. And we want to thank you right here for joining us at Herbal Gardens Homestead. And remember, love your land and it'll love you back. Take care.